Hey, what's going on, everybody? Alex here with Freedom Mowers. Hope you guys are having a good one. And we're going to jump right into things today. We're finally going to get started on the Ariens Zero Turn that I picked up about a month ago. This is the Zoom 34. So 34-inch mower deck, dual blade on it. It is... Oh boy, I was trying to figure out how to do this thing here. 13 and a half whopping horses on a Briggs Intek here. This is a 2009 machine, and I mean, this is a homeowner model. We're looking at it's got the hydro gear, Nicky carburetor on it. I'll show you guys kind of what I've already looked over on this machine as far as what I can right off the bat see problems with. If you guys remember, I picked this up for a good price, $250, but we will see. Hopefully this is, for one, going to run, which I do have another motor for this. If worst case, I've got a old 12 and a half horse flathead Briggs to put on here, worst case. And the other thing is obviously the hydro drives on this, because that'll get pretty costly if that doesn't work. Let's see, the tires looked pretty good on it. The spindles felt pretty good and they were free. The blades on this thing are pretty much toast. I live in a sandy environment, and so a lot of times the blades just get worn down like crazy here. Let's see, where are we at? Yeah, so first thing I noticed right off the bat was that there was a wire connected up and wrapped around the gas cap, and that looks like it goes up to the coil on here, and where they had cut that and spliced in, I am assuming to ground the mower out to shut it off, or they were taking out the safeties basically from the system so that you can just hotwire this thing. And so that's going to need to be fixed, or see what's going on with that. What else did we have going on here? Trying to remember. I know there was that wiring issue. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's not on this side, but on, actually, sorry, there was a few issues as I almost fall over. All right, right here, this is part of the engage for the hydro, and it's actually missing the spring here, and I believe it's supposed to sit. These are bent outward too, so these need to be pushed back in, and then there's supposed to be a spring that connects to these two. I'll show you on the other side. And also the whole arm mechanism that goes to the parking brake on this on both sides is missing. So there is no parking brake on here right now. And I'll show you. Here is the spring on the other side. So if you notice, that arm returns back to the center. This arm does not, it just stays in place because there's no tension on it for a spring. I don't know if these wires have been messed with, the battery wires, but I do know that they're both black, so I gotta figure out which one of those is positive. And so yeah, let's see, we have the stuff going on with the wiring, the parking brake pieces that are missing, and the return spring. What else was going on with it? I think that was pretty much all that I could see right off the bat. The motor does turn. It's weird. I'll show you guys. Hopefully I'm not rambling on too long before we try to get into this thing. I just want to show y'all a quick overview, kind of everything that's going on with it. So this is an electronic PTO on here, but it's not like your standard magnetic disc or clutch on it. What it does, now this is what's different from the Ariens versus the ZT, I believe, because on my stepdad's, he has the standard magnetic clutch PTO. This one has like some kind of shock or armature that I believe draws in, and that actually tensions the deck, and that's what engages the deck. So I'm curious to see how that works. I tried looking up a couple videos on this mower, and there's really not a whole lot online. So maybe this will kind of help if anybody ever comes across one of these. But let's jump right into it. We are going to, I'll figure out which battery leads go to what, and we'll just kind of start from scratch and see what we can do. Alright, so first things first, if you guys can see, I'm just looking, got this lead and this lead, and sure, I'm about to get my head right in the way. Come around over here, and I see, oh, that's good too. Check this out. I'm sure actually you guys might be able to see it. The whole part of the housing for the starter hot lead is moving around, so see if the starter even works on here. Alright, so I got the one right here I'm pulling. That's gonna be our negative. So we got the negative right here on the left and the positive here on the right. So let's go ahead and hook up the jumper pack, and I'll throw the spark plug tester on. See if we've got spark with whatever kind of contraption they got going on here. Guess we'll just set it here on the tank. So let me see if I can get this somehow set up in here. All right. Oh yeah. You hear some kind of component turning on here. All right, cool. So the key works. Let me get you guys set up here, and we'll check for spark. Get y'all in there close enough. What do you guys think about this machine? You think I got a good deal on it, or you think it's gonna be trash? I'm hoping not trash. Is that gonna be on there? There we go. Alright. So we should, in theory, have spark, because the coil kill wire is not connected to anything. It's just sitting up here in the air. So let's take a look here. Can you guys see that spark tester? Get you down here a little bit. Well, I don't know if you guys can see it. I mean, I can see it's got spark, but it's starter's sounding a little weak. I guess that could have to do with, well, for one, the battery connections. Two, the starter wire looks like it's about to fall off. Alright, well, that tells me at least we have spark going. Ooh. These wires are already getting warm, so don't think we got very good connection there. Let me see if we can just go straight to the starter with the jumper pack. I don't know how long this thing has sat. The guy that I got it from, he said he got it from a guy that owed him money, so who really knows what that means? Sometimes I don't like to ask too many questions. Let's see, we got that on there. Let's find a good spot on the frame. Well, just looking for a good spot on the frame here. Let's see. A lot of rust on the muffler area. Alright. Cranking over a little faster there. I'm at about 12. I'm at about 12.5 volts on my jumper pack, so let's see. That's with the plug in and the throttle all the way down, so it might turn over a little bit faster with the throttle up. Alright, so check this out too. So now we're off to the next problem here. You guys can see that fuel line is dry rotted and it is leaking gas out. I was just about to say, I can smell gas. The fuel in this machine smelled really fresh, actually. So we definitely need some new fuel hose because it is dry rotted all here at the end and dry there. Let's just see if we can at least get this to kick over. I'm not going to run it very long with gas leaking all out the line there. Let's see. Filter's not terrible. Alright, let's see where we're at here. Make sure you guys can see. Alright. So the key shouldn't matter because we've got the kill wire disengaged. I'll just turn it on anyways. There is some fuel in there. So the other thing too is that this the anti-backfire solenoid is not going to let any fuel through without 12 volts to the battery, but we did have 12 volt on the battery for a minute, so it should have at least allowed it to fill. Yeah, it should have at least allowed it to fill the float bowl, I would think, because we were still pumping fuel. Let's just try it here. Alright. Let's give it a little starter fluid here and just see if it'll pop off. able to get it turning fast enough here. Alright, well, let's see here. I think I'm going to have to charge up the jumper pack because it just doesn't have quite enough power right now to get this turning over fast enough. I mean, I'm at 12.5 volts. I mean, it's not super low, but it's definitely taken quite a big draw here to get this thing going. I just can't get it over. I can't get it spinning fast enough, I don't think, to kick over. Yeah. And we're spilling gas all over the place, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to turn the camera off for a minute. I'll get that on the charger. In the meantime, I will replace that part of that fuel line, and then we'll go from there. Alright, well, in the meantime, I've got the battery pack on the charger, and I went ahead and swapped out the small piece of fuel line here. It was just totally dry rotted out, but we got a new one in there, and should be good with that. I wanted to show you guys. I didn't feel like boring you guys and showing the process of heating this up and everything, but I looked around. I could not find a spring that was the correct size, so I started cutting this one down, and I was heating it up with the torch here, and just kind of manipulating it to see if I can get this to fit. And I believe I've got it. Check it one more time. I just made one more adjustment on it. I might have went too far, and I'm trying to do this one-handed. Yeah, I went a little too far with that. Alright, no, it went on there. Alright, so I got that end on, and got that end on. Now, if I can do this one-handed, there we go. Alright. Spring is on there good, and it's in the middle. So what that's going to allow me to do is have the spring back that I need on the control lever. So, not too bad. Took me just about 5 minutes. Really, it just took me longer looking around for springs, but that one's pretty heavy duty, and it feels pretty close to the other side. I guess that one's a little bit softer. Alright guys, well, it's been a couple of days. This video is probably getting a little choppy, so I apologize. I tried to film a little bit more the other day of getting this started, but the jumper pack just didn't have enough juice in it at the time, and I waited about an hour and a half with the jumper pack, and I still didn't have enough charge in it to get it turning fast enough. So I got it fully charged today, and I was trying to remember where I left off. Fixed that spring for the control lever on it, and we're just trying to see if we can get this thing fired up. So I will go ahead and hook up the jumper pack back to the battery cables on it, because what I was talking about the other day, you know, it has to have power to that solenoid in order for me to get any gas in there. Even if it fills the carburetor bowl, it's not going to go up the main jet, because that should block the main jet unless it is retracted on the tip. So I'm going to try it on the cables and see if we can get this thing turning fast enough, and let's see if we can get this thing fired up. Alright, I got the cables on there. I'm really hoping that this starter is going to be good enough to use, but I do have another starter It's just missing the gear on it to engage the flywheel. So if I need to, I can just kind of cannibalize one starter to make a good one, I believe. So, got my, I guess we'll just try to hit it with some starting fluid today and see what happens. It's trying. Alright, so just as I suspected, they had that disconnected as a kill wire. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I pushed down the seat safety and I engaged the PTO and the deck kicked right on and it is running on its own fuel. When I tried to idle it back, it did sound a bit choppy. But that is awesome. So where are we at here? So obviously we got a good running motor. Probably gonna have to go through and clean up this carburetor a little bit. I forgot that I had the release mechanism on the hydros so that I could push it in here. So I re-engaged the hydros, and I don't know if you guys saw, but I was able to move it back and forth a little bit. Not very far because the battery pack. But that is sweet. And the deck engages. Hydros seem to be engaging so far. We'll have to actually test those out. Let me trying to think. I was not expecting all this to work. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where we're at right now, where I can show you guys. Maybe I can get the jumper pack at least set on the back here on the lid, and we can set the seat down and pull it out of the shop here and at least test the hydro real quick. So let me get you guys set up real quick and we'll at least see if we can pull this thing out of the shop. think I still got a little carburetor issue. Let me see if the battery cable, no, those are still good. Just trying to show you guys first point of view here, but we got the deck working here. Probably gonna kill the jumper pack now. Yeah, it's starving for some fuel there. All right. Awesome. That is super cool. So, yeah, I honestly thought there was going to be a lot more going on with this machine. It seems like so far, the hydros feel really responsive. Sometimes that can be a little deceiving because sometimes after they warm up, excuse me, they'll get a little bit hard, or they won't engage the way that they should. But we won't know until time tells on that, and we can get this moving around some more. But the deck does engage. It sounds good. Like I said before, I felt the spindles on it, and they felt good, and the belts looked fair. I was taking a look at it the other day. There's some issues going on with the parking brake stuff, and that is the reason why they had the arms disengaged for the parking brake on it. I'll have to show you guys some more probably in the next video. Get a little bit more in depth on this machine. But yeah, so the deck works good. The hydro seem good. Motor's healthy. We need a little bit of carb work, it seems like, on it. And man, that's awesome. And obviously a good cleaning. So I think we'll probably leave off on that today because I really wanted to bring you guys a video here, and I know it's going to take a little time getting into the into the fuel system. So I think that's gonna do it, honestly. I just wanted to at least see if we could get this thing to start and see where we were at, and that went a bit farther than I expected, so that's awesome. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that. So yeah, we'll go ahead and on the next video we'll get into you know, the fuel system, and we'll start looking over some other things on there, things that need fixed, and we'll get this little zero turn up and going and running good. So all right, well, I appreciate you guys checking out the video, and thank you guys for the constant support. You know, it's really been awesome talking back and forth and meeting a lot of people, and I've really been enjoying it. So thank you guys for continuing the sport and making this channel fun. And on that note, let freedom ring and let those small engines sing. I'll catch you on the next one.